Doctors are angry and worried about the new criminal laws. Section 106 of the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita specifies medical negligence as a criminal offence and allows for fine and jail up to 5 years along with fine. Earlier, under IPC 304A, this was not specified and the term medical practitioners was not included, it was not defined. Also, it was fine or jail. You could get a fine or you could get 2 years of jail. Now it is fine and jail. That means you will go to jail and you're going to be fined as well if medical negligence is proved. Now, all of this, the law now makes jail term mandatory. Remember, Supreme Court earlier largely maintained that a doctor cannot be held accountable for medical negligence when a doctor, using all due care, opted for one method over another, which would also qualify as reasonable course of treatment. Remember, doctors have always said even if they are acting in the best interest of the patients, they may have to opt for certain measures and that may result in death, but it's always after consent of the patients. And the Supreme Court has also referred, in fact, if at all, the Supreme Court has also mentioned that there has been medical negligence that has been observed, the police or others have to refer this through an expert panel. Amid strong resistance from the medical fraternity, Home Minister Amit Shah in the Parliament had claimed if there is death during the treatment, it is treated as murder. Therefore, I will bring an official amendment to free the doctors from criminal negligence. This is what he had spoken in the Parliament. Indian Medical Association continues to protest against criminalization of medical negligence. I'm being joined by Ashwini Dubey, who is an advocate for Supreme Court, Dr. Rajiv Jaydevan, who is a past president of IMA, and Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, who is a chairperson for Nephron, as well as Aditya Pratap. Thank you very much, all four of you, for joining us. To you, Dr. Rajiv Jaydevan, first, help us understand what really is your big concern. You know, there are two sides of this. I mean, we were trying to get to a doctor who would speak in favor of this, who would say, you know, at least who would say that, okay, this has come into effect. We couldn't find any doctor. Maybe you could lead us to a doctor. But nonetheless, strong opposition from the fraternity of doctors against this particular clause of BNS. Why?
If doctors don't take risks, they can't save lives. That is true. All of us, including doctors and all individuals in society, at some point, we will need a doctor when we are critically ill to fearlessly take decisions and prescribe medications or do operations in our time of need. There is no exception. Now, if we create a society of doctors who are constantly fearful of being arrested by the police, that is not a healthy society of doctors. I'll explain why. Let's look at the suicide that occurred in 2022 by the gold medalist, Dr. Archana Sharma, who is a gynecologist. She wrote in her suicide note, postpartum hemorrhage is a severe complication. Please do not harass doctors. Yes, she was harassed. Somebody filed a case for murder because a woman under her care died of hemorrhage or bleeding after delivery. Now, the death rate after delivery in India is 1 in 1,000. Yes, that is true. Do we not have to reduce it even further? And my obstetrician colleagues tell me, gynecologist colleagues tell me, very few youngsters are willing to take up the art of delivering babies. They are opting for infertility and laparoscopy instead. They are shying away from the risky, what is called the doctor who stands by the side of a pregnant woman delivering her baby safely. Now imagine this happening on a countrywide scale. If we don't have doctors who are bold enough to take risks for their patient, what will be the health of our society and of the babies that are born? I'm just giving you one example. I understand that laws are made with good intent, but learned legal luminaries have said that's the implementation of the law on the ground that makes all the difference. So if we have a criminal case file for every death that happens in a hospital, we are going to have a cure for a disease that is worse than the disease itself. That is the contention. Yes, doctors who are grossly negligent must be held accountable
Okay.
so that they do not repeat those acts. But there are
Okay.
other methods of getting that done. But the vast majority, 99.999%, who do not engage in that, you should not put them in fear of their own lives through violence or through criminal proceedings.